Hello everybody and welcome to the Two Marketing Guys podcast. I am sitting here with our friend from FirmaIT. You want to introduce yourself?
My name is Rodney Gullatte, owner of FirmaIT Solutions. We are a managed information technology and cybersecurity service provider here in Colorado Springs and Key West, Florida.
I love the plug. Key West, Florida.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we met each other at B&I, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I invited Rodney over to the office, and he was trying out the VR system here.
Yes.
And I got a video of that, which I'll probably put on this video here.
Yeah, go ahead. That's great. Yeah. I like the bullet train was the best. That was the funnest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, okay, so since you're here, let's do a podcast.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So, basically, when we bring people on the podcast, we just have a conversation, but we try and keep it not business focused, because we'll talk about anything, really, but the biggest thing I like providing people who listen in is just an interesting story of a local small business owner here in Colorado Springs, or it could be any business, but somebody who owns a business here in Colorado Springs, and then what their journey was like to actually get to be in this spot, and then, you know, where they're going in the future. Like, that's the whole thing. And then hopefully what somebody gets is they come and listen to this and they go, oh man, that was so inspiring. It's going to make me want to start my own business. Or hey, this was something that I had never thought of before. It was like, oh man, that's how he got himself started. I was in a similar predicament or something like that, whatever. Like, they are inspired to do some kind of action from an interview that we do with just a small business owner. That's the whole point of the podcast.
Okay, all right.
So with that, let's start from here. Tell me the story of Rodney Gullatte. Are you from Colorado Springs? Or?
I'm not from Colorado Springs. I'm from Marietta, Georgia. It's a suburban city 20 miles north of Atlanta.
I know Marietta.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's where I'm from. Born and raised there.
All right.
Marietta. That's what we call it.
There you go. Awesome. So how did you end up here?
By way of the U.S. Air Force. So I joined the Air Force in 2001. My 5th week of basic training was September 11th. So it was pretty interesting. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Yeah. So I ended up going to Saudi Arabia at Prince Sultan Air Base during the shock and awe campaign. We dropped all those bombs on Baghdad. So I was over there for that. I actually manned the largest mobile power plant that powered the runway, the airfield that all those jets took off from. So that was pretty cool. I got out in 2004. My beautiful wife is still active duty. Been married to her 13 years. On the 18th.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, so that's
congratulations.
Cool. Yeah. So we've been traveling.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
No way.
Yeah, got married when I was 24.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have believed that.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I still get carded, so I feel young. I feel young.
All right. So 18 years.
Yeah.
2 kids.
No, 13 years.
Oh, 13 years.
Yes, 13 years. 2 children. Married Carmen and Tatiana. Hey, girls. Love my babies. Yeah, so daddy with 2 daughters, learned how to braid hair, and
how old are they?
6 and 9.
Okay, yeah, they're in that hair braiding stage.
Yep. Know all the My Little Ponies.
Yeah.
Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Twilight Sparkle.
Right.
All those. Know them all.
I feel like if you were a parent with a kid that age, like, you end up enjoying watching the shows just as much as they do.
Yeah, it's interesting. The cartoons aren't the same as like we had when we were little. So I remember My Little Pony back from the 80s. And I used to be a fan of the show.
Old school Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, old school Scooby-Doo, yep. So now you've seen the new ones.
I've seen the new ones.
Have you seen those? Okay, so the new ones are a little more edgy.
Are they?
Yeah, a little more edgy, a little more intense. A lot more intense than they used to be.
I would say, what's edgy?
Yeah, it's intense. It's more intense now. So, a lot more peril. And, the creatures are a lot, more intense looking than they used to. But, Scooby-Doo's still Scooby-Doo. You got Shaggy and those guys and Jinkies and all that stuff. Yeah, man.
It's weird, so I know we got off on a tangent here, but it's weird listening to old school Scooby-Doo and then listening to the new stuff because the characters don't sound the same.
No.
So it always throws me off,
I think the only continuity we have from the old school to now is Optimus Prime's voice in Transformers.
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
still alive. So he's still doing that voice. So, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to tell with that.
From all the
Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Yes, it is. It's going to be great.
I'm looking forward to Thor.
Thor?
Yeah, did you see the trailer for that?
I have seen it. I like the the age of women, powerful women in film. That's what I'm enjoying right now.
Yeah.
And I've got a friend, Liz Rosenbaum. Hey, Liz. Owns Her Story Cafe. We just came from over there.
It's good.
Had my feelings sassy, but she posted on Facebook that it was a great movie. So for one of our #1 feminists out here in Colorado Springs, for her to say Wonder Woman was a good movie, I know they did the right thing. That was probably going to be my only concern, was like, she has to be a strong woman figure.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. So, I think they did a good job. They did a great job.
I think a lot of movies nowadays that have like female as the lead, they do well.
Yeah. I mean, that's a resource that people aren't tapping into like they should be. Yeah. And I saw speaking of Thor, I guess the main villain is female.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and she's powerful, like the opening trailer where she crushes the hammer. I was like, dude, really? Yeah. Put one hand and smiles about it. I'm like, oh, man, that's cool.
And he's like, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yep. That's cool, man. Yeah, tangent, but that's all right.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah, tangents
All
happen.
right, so you came here from the Air Force. After you got out of the Air Force, how did you get from being in the Air Force to now owning an IT company?
Okay, so I got out in 2004. My wife was in Korea. When she got back, we moved to Tucson, Arizona, and my first job was actually working for a large retail company in IT. I didn't like it very much because the ethics weren't all that great in that company. So I left there, ended up working for a power company, and then went to work for a casino. And then in Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, Tucson.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So we were there, and then ended up with a defense contract with a big defense contracting firm, working for them, and everything was great. Walked into that job, had about 800 computers that I was responsible for, and they were all broken when I got on site. And the hardest thing about it wasn't the technical piece, but the relationship part, because there was a Fulbright colonel that worked for the maintenance group. These are the guys that fixed the aircraft. So it was a Fulbright colonel there, and there was a major that worked for the comm squadron at the base.
Okay.
The comm squadron is typically your IT department for your Air Force base. It's like there's one on every base.
Okay.
So they hated each other.
Really?
Yes. So
wow.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was a bad relationship. So, if you have an information system and you need your IT department to get it fixed, and you have a bad relationship with the head of the IT department, then that's a problem. So they ended up having a problem that occurred before I got there. And so I ended up getting it fixed. But at the end of it, when it was time for me to leave, I actually had both sides of the house. We had my going away at Hooters. We're all going away, man. Yeah, man. And it was cool. It was like, I told them, when I first got here, I never thought I'd see both of us together, sitting down, breaking bread together as a team.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I was able to be a part of that. So, that just showed me more that the people part of doing business is the most important piece.
Okay.
The technical part comes really easy.
Well, I'll let you finish, and I'm going to ask you about that. But go ahead.
So my wife got orders to Key West, Florida. They didn't have that job for me in Key West. So I applied for the only job that was on USA Jobs in Key West, which is like an IT director for the National Weather Service down there.
Okay.
Weather forecasting office in Key West. So it was about 200 people that applied for it. I applied with just my resume online, and they picked 5 people to do a phone interview with, and I was one of the 5 final people to do that.
Wow.
And I was still in Tucson working when this was going on.
Off of a resume?
Off a resume.
Only?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did the phone interview on a Tuesday, and they gave me the job that Thursday.
Wow.
So I became a GS-13. It was like 15 grades in the GS scale for government workers. So coming in at a 13 is not really common.
Yeah.
So I was very lucky to get that. And so 23 days after they gave me that job, they rescinded the offer.
Really?
Yeah. So I was on a high for like 23 days. I was talking to my wife, we're going to get a house, we're going to get a boat, it's going to be great. And they called me and told me they ran out of funding because the government shutdown was going on at that time. So I was upset. So the next job offer I had was from like their largest newspaper in Key West, and they it was $11 an hour for like 4 pages worth of responsibilities. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
No way.
So I incorporated, and I went to the Key West Chamber of Commerce, which I'm still a member. Hey everybody down there. Hey Carrie. Hey Virginia. Miss you guys. So I joined that, and that's 6 years ago, and I haven't looked back. So while everything was going great in Key West, my wife gets orders in Colorado Springs.
Oh, okay.
So I had a decision to make. Do I let my business go and give it all up and work for somebody again, which I didn't want to do, or do I figure out how to run a business in Key West and here and leverage all the technology, know-how, and everything else I know how to do and make it work? So I chose the latter, and it worked. It's been working, so I've been very blessed.
Yeah. So you've been in Colorado Springs for how long?
I got here August 2015. So since then, I've been nominated twice for Veteran-Owned Business of the Year.
Really?
The SBDC and the Business Bureau, and just found out from the Colorado Springs Business Journal that I have been nominated for Best of Springs cybersecurity company. So there's three folks in that category that are top three, and I made top three for that. So I'll find out if I win on the 29th at their gala.
There you go.
Yeah, so if you haven't got tickets to the Business Journal Gala for Best of Springs, you should get it. They're still available.
So, do you know, okay, I got a bunch of questions on what you just said here.
Let's go.
Okay, so first off, let me start with Florida. You still travel down to Florida?
I went twice last year. I haven't been back this year yet.
Okay, well, you still run the company out of there.
Absolutely.
But you can run it remote. So,
yes, absolutely. Yeah, I have a guy down there that works for me.
Cool.
His name's Jesse. What's up, Jesse? Does a great job for me on the ground down there. So
sounds like you need to get out to Florida.
Yeah, I need to get back. Miss my peeps down there.
There you go. And then, okay, so the next one is, how do you even get nominated to be a best of, or how do you even get recognized as that? So this goes into the next part about your people connections, right? What's the process of getting recognized as like Small Business of the Year and different things like that? Veteran-owned small business. Like, how does that even happen?
Selflessness.
Okay.
You have to be selfless. You know, one of the cool things about Colorado Springs is that it's a really prosperous town in regards to small business. And, you know, a lot of folks that I meet are small business owners. And we all have the same struggles. We all have the same stories. And, you know, those are all my new friends. You know, when I became a business owner, you know, a lot of my friends changed. So now my friends are folks that own businesses that I used to frequent as a participant. And now we're talking about, you know, like-minded ideas now as far as business. So just being selfless, not being selfish and just trying to go out and make money for myself, but I look and see if there's something that I've learned that I can help impart onto some other business owner that may help move them, you know, a lot forward and make more money for them. And what happens is those people that I've been able to talk to and have genuine relationships with, they end up getting access to resources and they share those with me. And that's how I end up in those nominations. I don't think I've been nominated myself for any of those things.
And when you make those connections, right? I mean, you form a sphere of influence and connections, and you're on the resources that are available just from that sphere. And as long as you keep growing that thing, it gets impressive.
Yes, it is impressive. And humbling.
Yes. You have to stay humble.
Yes, you have to, man. Work hard and stay humble. My wife bought a little placard for me that goes over my door in the home office. It says, "Work hard, stay humble." So I always try to keep that in mind because I've been blessed. Work harder. And stay humbler. I'm blessed by that, man.
There you go.
I had a great experience here in Colorado Springs. I love this place.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let's hold on one sec. Let me pause this. Actually, let me stop this. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, it sounded fine, but funny enough, mics weren't even plugged in.
No,
Yeah.
No.
It sounded fine.
Alright.
But we were using this guy. Good thing this thing's got a good sound deck. Alright. Okay, let's save this. I'm gonna make a pause here because I had some technical errors that I didn't pay attention to start. Alright, let's see here. So now we got this plugged in. This on. bring it up. Hello. Okay, USB is good. For whatever reason, it's not being recognized. Close it completely out. Bring it back up. Now we're live. Alright, now let's check this. Alright, go ahead and say something.
1 for the treble, 2 for the bass, 3 for the ladies, 4 for the blaze.
One more time.
1 for the ladies, 2 for the bass, 3 for the ladies, 4 for the blaze.
I love it.
Yeah.
Alright. I really like that actually. Wow. Okay. I'm getting serenaded. That's great. Alright. Alright, so that sounds good. Let's get that. Alright, so I don't remember where we left off. We had a small technical error. So I was recording off of the built-in mic on my Mac instead of using the head or the microphones. But that's alright. We got the right setup now.
Yes.
And hopefully, I apologize if that audio sounds bad. We got to fix now though. Alright, so
we're talking about relationships.
we're talking about relationships.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people say that, you know, relationships aren't what build a great business. And I'm sure you can build a great business without relationships. I'm sure there's always another way to do things. But I find that I've been able to find the best clients through relationships. I impressed really good people. I've been able to get them to know, like, and trust me. And not only with their business, but with their relationships, their businesses. So, you know, I do managed IT and cybersecurity, but what I really sell is trust. Because folks have to be able to, I have to be able to get people to trust me enough to give me their baby. Like, their business is their baby.
Yeah, you have a high degree of trust in what you do.
Yes. Yep. Take it very seriously.
Yep. And you know, it's a really interesting thing too with relationships. I mean, you're a part of quite a few groups too, trying to build business relationships. What groups are you a part of?
Okay, so I'm on the board of the Colorado Springs Black Chamber of Commerce. I am an ambassador with the Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC. At the end of the month, I will be on the board of the Rotary Club of Colorado Springs as a director of community service projects. I'm a director with BNI in Southern Colorado with an awesome team of directors. In October, I'll be the president of Strategic Alliances BNI chapter, CS34 here in Colorado Springs. So I'm looking forward to that. Really awesome people in there.
I met a few today.
Yeah, you're actually one of those awesome BNI members.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
They're amazing. Yeah.
We're okay.
Yeah. I like BNI, man. You know, they have a lot of good knowledge in there, and you know, one of the things that I like about it is the knowledge that you can attain in there. There's a lot of things that you think you know, but when you study it through a lot of the BNI literature and the podcasts and stuff, you know, you get to break down, especially networking, into a science. And I think people underestimate the power of what networking is. I mean, I know, having been in BNI now, when I go to other networking events or after hours with the Black Chamber or the Colorado Springs Chamber at EDC or any other event, and people approach me and they automatically start in that sell mode.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, dude, really?
Your flag just goes,
Yeah. Oh, really? You know, they give me a card like, hey, man, you need to buy my stuff. I'm like, okay, man, like, can I get your name? Know where you're from? How long you've been in business? And tell me something. So you get to learn the power of the relationships. The other thing they teach you is those presentations that you do every week, those weekly presentations. Most of the time they're 60 seconds long, but man, if you can learn how to master the 60-second presentation, imagine what happens when you're at like an after hours or something and you have 5 minutes in a corner with somebody. Yeah. And that's a sale. That's done. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
You're very effective.
So, I mean, BNI refers to it as your 60-second promo or presentation. Other people in other types of groups refer to it as the elevator pitch.
The elevator pitch,
man. You got to master that.
Yeah.
can you say what you do in a business or what you do for work in 60 seconds and they understand it completely?
Oh, yeah.
Or at least get the 60,000 foot overview.
You know, one of the things about that elevator pitch is to not try to tell someone everything that you do. That may be the topic for, you know, coffee at a local coffee shop somewhere, or lunch at a local restaurant, you know, to get that more the more intimate conversation about your business. But when you're doing those pitches, man, just pick one thing to talk about. Make sure they know your name, make sure they know the name of your business, and give them something impactful. You know,
stories.
Yeah, B&I talks about, like they call it, lowest common denominators.
Yeah.
So, you know, just, you know, break your business down into each little piece, the thing that you do. So I do wireless networks. I do, so I'll talk about that one day. I talk about, you know, the threat of people not securing their USB ports on their computers. I'll tell you why that's a problem. That'll be one day. Another thing to ask about is, you know, what do you want? What do you want somebody to find for you? What's your ask? You know, so I'm looking for, you know, farmers agents. I'm looking for, you know, independent insurance agents, law firms, you know, accounting firms, you know, especially people that traffic in other people's personal information. Yeah. Those folks need protection, I think, the most. The trades professions, we're talking about that at Her Story Cafe. That's about as far away from computers as you can get. Oh yeah, they can landscape your yard. Oh, they can build you a beautiful custom home. But they don't know that there's a lot of people don't know it was a global cyber attack on Mother's Day weekend. You know, that attacked financial institutions and
the ransomware.
They don't, like, ransomware. What is that? You know, why do I need to put a password on my computer? It's too much work. You know,
or cyber liability.
Cyber liability, insurance.
Yeah,
people don't know that exists either. And you know, we've got a lot of good people that provide that kind of information too.
Yep. It's a real thing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there. So, to follow up that, kind of in this direction that you were going, you know, a little bit ago, but how do you manage all of your time? Serving on all these boards, doing all this networking, how do you still find time to run an IT company, but then also take care of your family?
Efficiency, man.
What does that look like to you?
It looks like Microsoft Outlook.
Your calendar.
It looks like an iPhone with the calendar on the home page, man. If it's not on the calendar, it don't get done.
Yeah,
and you know that's an ever improving sword that I'm trying to sharpen, is to get better with that time management. So you know, a lot of stuff I try not to take on all of it at once. I space the time out. You know, business after hours happen once a month. You know, per organization. So you know that's 2 days out of 30 on average. Yeah. You know, a board meeting or two, that's 1 day out of 30 days. Coming out to meet new business owners and form those relationships, like that's the fun part. Like that's the meat of the business right there, is the people. Yep. So, you know, you make time for that. If you want to be in business, you got to make time for that. Yep. You know, it's great. I have a great time, and I don't have too much problem with the time. Man, you still need time to relax and kind of break down. So you know, I like you know, Call of Duty. I'm a Call of Duty guy. I like Destiny. You know, cutting my grass is therapeutic. Really? You know, yeah, man. Yeah, I got a little yard. You know, I stay down the fountain in the yard, just in the front. Right now, we're working on a backyard, but.
Is it therapeutic to the point where you're out there with like scissors, just like?
No. I got the push mower. Okay. Yeah, but you know, it's just,
I've seen those people.
It's just away. You know, the phone's not ringing. I'm out on the computer, and it's just me and the grass and allergies and sunlight and just the noise and the smell of the gas and just pushing the lawnmower, and you're done. And, you feel better, and my wife makes me feel great too. She's been very supportive. I know she didn't think I was going to go into business at first, but since I have, she's had my back, and she pushes me to be more efficient with my time, and not necessarily give away so much of it for free. So I'm very careful with folks trying to waste my time. Yep. Because time is money, and that's one thing you don't get back. Yeah. So you have to make sure that that's one thing for business owners out there, especially those who are thinking about starting a business. Charge what you're worth and really give that some thought. I've had another local IT company here that's run by some military veterans, and they were charging like $35 an hour. I was like, look, at the end of this conversation, you're charging $60. At least give yourself $1 a minute. You're at least worth that. And there's other folks out there charging more, and they're getting it. So you can't be afraid to charge what you're worth. And I think that's probably one of the hardest things to get over when having your own business. You're telling folk, I want this much money for this work. And they may be like, well, that's too much. You have to be strong enough to walk away from the cheapies.
Yep. Well, it's one of those things, like, we struggle with it going right out of the gate. We struggle with price. But it's one of those things that I've had to learn and subscribe to myself, that price is an illusion. Really, I mean, if the market bears it, the market bears it. And if you got clients that, like you said, the cheapies, you're going to always have some cheapies, but for the most part, you need to charge what you're worth. I agree with that completely. And that's a lesson in self-awareness and self-discovery too. I mean, like I said, we started out, we were shooting videos like you just watched. We started out at $150 to make that video.
Wow.
And you talk about when we come to find out that the average video in the Springs is like $2 to $3 grand. Yeah, we're like, well, we're kind of killing ourselves at that point. And we had to go, well, it's time to reevaluate and make changes. Because, man, ridiculous.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. I love your work. You showed me some really cool stuff on the Apple TV.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive work, man.
Apple TV is fun, too.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit here. So you have now been in business for 6 years.
Yes.
I'm guessing IT, because technology evolves every at least 3 years. How has your business changed from when you started to where you're at now? Oh,
man, dude. I remember when I started, I have a black Chevy Avalanche in 06. And, I started out with Vistaprint like most, new businesses do. And they had like a magnetic sign that you could stick on the side of your car. So I got one of those made, and, about a year into it, I ended up having a relationship with a sign company down in Key West called Signs Unlimited. It's going on Ed Johnston. And, so I went to his place and ended up getting my truck wrapped in a wrap. So I remember he had it for a couple days, and he left it for me to go pick up. My wife took me over there, and I saw it for the first time, and man, I was in tears driving home.
Really?
I was like, dude, I've been in business for 1 year, and when I finally saw that truck wrapped, because it was just so over the top, I had computer slow plaster all over the side of it, and my logo was on the hood, and talking about it in the design phase is one thing, but actually seeing it on your vehicle, just, it was an emotional moment. And it just made me want to commit more to what I was trying to do.
It made it real.
It made it real, yeah, absolutely. And people see it driving down the street, like, man, that's a nice wrap. Like, yeah, I know what you do. Okay, yeah. It's like, you got computer slow. That's a good thing to put on there. I was like, yeah, because then it makes you ask a question. Computer slow. Yeah, it is kind of slow. Let me call this guy. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So, it works out. So, thinking about the new wrap. That one's about 4 years old, so gonna design a new one and get that put on. Haven't figured out a time frame for that, but business is working out just fine, so not really in a rush right now. Yeah, but that was one of the things that changed. Getting employees. So at first it was just me, and I think with most businesses they start out with just the person with the idea doing all the work, and that's not. Yeah.
I love you, Kyle.
But being the only one doing your business is, you can't scale that way. You can only get so big before you can't do any more. So you have to create jobs. Yeah. That's one of my goals with my business, to be able to create the next cyber workforce and having them work for me. But if they don't, and they work for me for a time and then leave, like, I want them to have the skills to go out and find something maybe even better. If they decide to carry their skills on somewhere else. So, making friends who are competitors is another thing. A lot of folks out there, there's friendly competitors and there's not so friendly competitors. And I've met both in Key West and in Colorado Springs. Luckily for me, most folks are friendly competitors. And everybody seems to understand, most people seem to understand there's enough business out here for everybody to eat and get fat. And we don't have to claw each other's eyes out to get the same clients. So, big shout out to, go ahead.
50,000 businesses here in the Springs, right?
There's plenty of business. I showed you the transcript with the business journal.
There's like 100
every week, front and back.
Yeah.
Businesses starting up all the time. So there's plenty of businesses. There's plenty of stuff for us to get. Yeah. So big shout out to my friend Trevor Deerdorf at Amnet. He's one of the first people I met. I actually saw him online when I was looking up the demographics for this area before I moved here. And we met at one of Senator Gardner's events at the Radisson by the airport. And we just got a real good rapport with each other. We're real good friends. He's a chairman of the Republican Party for El Paso County, and he's just a good man. And he's definitely one of those friendly competitors. So we refer business to each other, and we understand that there's plenty of business out there for us to get. He started out small too, but he's been here for 17, 18 years. So if I was in the same spot for that long, like my vision would be as big as he is also. But I'm trying to do it in a fraction of the time. Yeah. So as a military spouse, and that goes for all the other military spouses out there that are thinking about starting business, do it. It's possible. There's a lot of opportunity out there, and there's a lot of ways to make money. A lot of ways. So go get it. It's there for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things like entrepreneurship is there's penalties for failing, but every failure is a learning experience.
It's a learning experience.
So, people get so afraid of failure, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. Something happens, you gotta close the doors, that's okay. Yeah. Life goes on, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, we learn hard lessons, man. I learned a hard lesson in Key West with social engineering.
Really?
So, I was social engineered in Key West. There was a guy that got introduced to me at my Rotary Club down there from a mutual friend that I already knew and respected, and introduced me to this guy. And his whole point of when he met me, he said, Rodney, I looked you up. I've been waiting to meet you. And I thought he was genuine. Young guy, had a really good business model, and but he was using me to get to my clients and to burn my clients. For his benefit. You know what I'm saying? It was just, that was one of those experiences I'm glad I learned early on. So now I'm very, very wary of people that approach me and they're like, hey, all super bubbly and like want to just take me on this great ride of like some big success story. Like I'm very cautious now. Yeah. Because there's people that, when they see you doing well, they want to target you to get what you have. And if it leaves you burnt, then they're fine with that as long as they get what they want.
Oh yeah.
So
I get that with salespeople. No offense to sales, I love sales. I think it's an amazing thing. I get those kind of people. I'm trying to say, like, I get people who try and take advantage of our client list that are sales agents for other stuff. Because we'll run a client's marketing campaign for them, and as part of that, we field all those we field all those soliciting calls. If a client calls, or if a client gets a call from a solicitor trying to solicit any type of marketing service or whatever like that, they call us. Like they redirect them to us, and we take that call and sit down. And these people, some of them are really good at selling. But at the end of the day, they're just trying to take advantage of that client list and get money. But I understand that it's part of the game. I respect it. Yeah. Because everyone's got to eat. But at the same time, I agree. You got to be wary about what's out there because there's a lot of not so great stuff.
Yeah, and those unfriendly competitors, man. Like you never know when they're going to show up. I had one unfriendly competitor here in this town that went to one of my clients and talked him into allowing them to scan his network. After he had told them that he had an IT support company already that he was very happy with, which was me, my company, and. I'm not mad at my client for it, but these folks came in there and really spoke a good game, and you got people with silver tongues, they can do that, talk to you and stuff. So they talked them into it, and they didn't get a whole lot of information because the network was secured, but that was dirty. It was a dirty move. And I spoke with some of my other friends that have other businesses, and I was like, am I crazy for thinking that this was wrong? They're like, no, that was wrong. That wasn't cool at all. Because if I talk to a client and they're already working with another company, that I don't need to go any further because they've got somebody else. So like I'm good at that point. There's other people I can go see.
Yeah.
So
well, and it never hurts to ask the question. how's that going for you?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, if they're not happy with it, then that's one thing. But, but if they are, if they're satisfied,
it's like, oh no, we're happy with this. I'm like, okay, cool.
Next door,
stay happy. Yeah.
Next person.
If that ever changes, give me a call. But you guys are happy.
Awesome.
Please proceed. Yeah. Not everybody has that respect for space like that. That's too bad.
No, it's part of that networking art, you know. Okay, so you've been in business now for 6 years, run a successful company. You're involved in the community, giving back, trying to provide value, and I actually witnessed that. So here's a cool thing that you did. So show up at Her Story Cafe. I mean, we'd already had some lunch there because I wanted to check it out before, and was cool about how you networked that I took real appreciation for was you're like, oh hey, come meet this guy. Oh hey, come meet this guy. Hey, I'm chatting with him. Blah blah blah. Oh, you guys should hook up, talk, whatever. Like you were networking, and you were just practicing giver's game. Like you were just giving back.
Yes.
And I thought that was real cool because you don't see that too often.
Yeah, that's a great philosophy, giver's game. You know, when I had never heard of BNI before I was invited by my friend.
How did you get in?
So my friend Vita Fleming, who owns Kachina, well, she was with Kachina Insurance. She invited me to her BNI chapter first, and there was already a guy there that was trying to apply, and so I saw it. I definitely saw the benefits. So I applied that same day, but he got it and I didn't. And I didn't think about BNI again ever. And then I met Scott Anderson with the Scott Anderson Agency, and he had.
You were a popular man today,
man. I always like to talk. He had invited me to Strategic Alliances during their membership extravaganza.
Yep.
And they did not have an IT person in there. So, you know, I already, like the giver's game thing was something I was already doing, but I thought it was interesting that there was an organization that existed where that's their premise. That's how they do things.
Yep.
And them working on sending referrals to each other to help each other grow, I thought was a great thing because I do it anyway. And the whole one-to-ones thing, you know, meeting somebody for coffee or lunch or meeting them somewhere to talk, you know, I was already doing that anyway. So it's like, okay, so I can keep doing what I've been doing and learn how to do it better and be with a group of really outstanding business owners and become more powerful with it. So that's how I ended up in BNI, and it's been an amazing, amazing thing for me since then. And pulling people together, I think, is where the spark is with networking. I mean, you know, getting things for me, I'm decent with that. But I find that folks appreciate it more when I'm able to connect them together. Like, this is a big town. So when I'm at, you know, a Black Chamber of Commerce after hours, and I can pull somebody that I had met at BNI and be like, hey, why don't you come to this event, come to this networking event with me, and they meet a pool of people they had never met before, and when I link them together, money happens for them.
Yep.
And then those people become appreciative, both of them. I got two people appreciative of me linking them together, so now both of them are like, hey, you know, I'm thinking about Rodney when I'm out doing business. It's like, hey, you know, I met somebody that said they're having trouble with their IT at their business. I'm going to give it to Rodney. I'm going to call him.
Yep.
Tell him, hey, you need to get in touch with my friend Rodney. And that's how I've been getting my business. So, you know, it's a win-win from everybody. I think, you know, one of the I'm a Rotarian, so one of the part of our four-way test is it beneficial for all concerned? So I always have that in the back of my mind. Is everybody going to benefit well from this?
Yeah.
And they typically do.
Okay, so I got a question on that then.
Yeah.
All right, so I was going to look it up later because I didn't want to sound ridiculous, but what's Rotary Club?
Rotary International is an international service organization that moves mountains. They move mountains, man. And the members that are in it are people that have the ability to move mountains. So when you put a group of people together that all have the ability and resources to move mountains, and you put them in a group together, the impact is tremendous.
So, like, what do you guys do? Like, what is is it like BNI in a sense? Or?
No, so Rotary is not about business.
Okay.
Even though everybody in there is some type of business leader of some type.
Sure.
Or had been. They still have keys to some kingdom that they had.
Okay.
The whole purpose of there is to make our community and our world better.
Okay.
By using the resources and the knowledge that we have to make the world a better place.
Okay.
So one of the big global projects that they've had is eradicating polio worldwide. So, you know, they've gotten this close to eradicating polio worldwide.
He made a very, very small
gesture. That's one of the marketing things that they have.
Yeah.
But every Rotary Club has, you know, different projects that they do for the betterment of their communities. And at the end of June, I'll be the Director of Community Service Projects for the Rotary Club of Colorado Springs. So I've got some ideas on some things to do. You know, being IT, my biggest things is the digital divide. And I don't like that there's economic disparities with people who have access to technology. Mm-hmm. So I want to try to fix that. So people that haven't been able to have computers because they couldn't afford it, I want them to have one.
Yeah, there's a wealth of opportunity when you have a computer.
Yes. There's a lot of kids in schools that don't have them. Mm-hmm. So the Rotary Club of Colorado Springs is we do a lot with District 11. And you know, the other Rotary clubs have other districts that they it's like their area of responsibility. So District 11 is ours. And one of the things I want to do is help kids get computers that otherwise wouldn't see it unless we gave them one. Yeah. So the United Way, they have a program called Colorado Springs Promise. Mm-hmm. So I want to try to hook up with them and help them grow that. They've been at Mitchell High School doing a lot of work over there, and I did some speaking for them over there also. But the principal knows they need computers, the kids need computers over there, so I want to start, we can start there and try to make this thing as big as possible. So all these companies out here, I'm going to be coming to you, but when you do your refreshes every so many years, I want your old computers. Yeah. So, we'll do a DOD wipe on them, we'll rebuild them and give them to a child that otherwise wouldn't have it, or a nonprofit that needs computing power also. Speaking of, I got a few I can give you. Okay, perfect. I love it. Yep. It's great. Awesome. Already. Right? Hey, already. I'm your first one right here. Awesome, man.
No, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. I think and I saw Mason ring too, right?
Yeah. That was a rabbit hole I fell into in 2004. Yeah. So it's been I've been falling in that hole ever since, and the wealth of knowledge that I've gained, a lot of the personal enlightenment that I've gotten has been great, and the networking with it has been really cool too, because you
a lot of business owners in there too.
Yeah, you meet people, and you may not have anything in common, and then you find out that you're both Freemasons, and then it's like instant camaraderie. It's like, hey brother, how can I help you, brother? So I've met a lot of them out here.
What degree
of the street?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was saying, what degree of Mason are you?
Third degree. Blue House. They know what that means. Yeah. I haven't gone any further than that, but once I wasn't. I had just got married when I became a Mason. My wife was in Korea for a year, so I had time to do it. Yeah. Now I've got family and kids, and I don't have time to go through any extra degree work, but I may go back and revisit that once the kids graduate from high school and get out of the house. I might go back and extend that a little more.
Yeah, a guy named Wayne Minks?
Yeah, I know Wayne.
Yeah,
he's Kung Fu Wayne.
Yeah,
I know Wayne.
Kung Fu Wayne.
Yeah, Kung Fu Wayne. I know Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a black belt.
Avenue West. That's my man. Yeah, I know Wayne.
Yeah, he's a Freemason too. That's what made me think of that.
Yeah, it's good people, man. There's a lot of them out there, man. Yeah. And, what's cool is that they. Not all of them, wear, they call it light. Yeah, we call it light. So not everybody wears it out, but there's ways that we can recognize each other without it.
How do you do that?
Can
you talk about it?
We got ways that we talk to each other. We have things that we'll say. Like I've been in meetings where people will have a speech and they'll say things in their speech that only a Mason would pick up on. Okay. And or the way that they'll stand. Or the way that they'll, hold their hands on the table, or the way that they'll knock on the door, or, the way that they shake your hand, or, give you an embrace. Yeah, there's so many ways, so many subtleties. Yeah, it's a whole thing, man. It's pretty awesome.
I've always been fascinated by it. I've never checked it out, but I want to, but it's a rabbit hole.
It's a rabbit hole,
and I know that.
It starts with St. Matthew, chapter 7, verse 7.
St. Matthew, chapter 7, verse 7.
That's the door. That's the door to the hole, to the rabbit hole. You read that and you internalize it and think about what it means. And
all right, why you said Matthew
chapter 7, verse 7.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, look, that's already on Matthew. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see here. Oh, that's right. I was reading Matthew. That's why. All right, let's see here. I'm just curious.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and look it up.
Knock and it will be opened.
Go ahead and read it. What does it say?
It says, ask and it will be given, seek and you will find, knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it will be opened. Or which one of you, if his son asks him for bread, will you give him stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will you give him a serpent? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him?
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, that's a very powerful thing. I mean, it's so funny, and I've had this conversation with a lot of other people before, but like the Bible has so many business and life principles. Well, of course it has life principles, but I mean, it has so many principles that are applicable to business that people, you hear these whether it's Facebook personalities or YouTube personalities or whatever, they talk about these things and you're like, it's this cutting edge business thing, and he's like, actually no, it's 2,000 years old, it's in the Bible. It's pretty mind blowing.
Treat others like you'd be treated.
Yeah.
You don't want to go behind somebody's back and steal their clients. If you don't want that to happen, you don't do it to somebody else. Don't bear false witness against your neighbor. Don't lie on somebody.
Sowing and reaping.
Yeah, sowing and reaping, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. You got to work to get what you want.
Yeah,
and you got to give back.
I had a guy as a mentor to me who, Dave Hampton, he put that out there to me and taught me all that fun stuff. And I'm just like, he kept teaching me these lessons when he was teaching me in business, and I was like, that's really cool. I mean, how did you gather all this knowledge? He's like, do you really want to know? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And I was like, Bible. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one of the things I learned in as a Freemason. I've been reading a lot of literature, even the ones past the third degree. But one of the things you learn, people can't really tell you what books mean. They all speak to you on an individual level when you read them. Yeah. So, for example, the book The Alchemist. You know, you read that every year. It'll speak to you different every time you read it.
Yeah.
So you know, like that's the same with the Bible and any other book that you read. And you know, thing about knowledge is once you learn something, you can't unlearn it. So be careful what book you open.
That's good.
Because if your faith and your convictions aren't set, you know, people can shake you off your platform if you're not, you know, secure about how you feel about things.
That's good advice, man. I tell you, guy, when I first read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie.
I'm reading that now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I read that book, I read it once every couple of years, and like you said, it's just stuff changes, and like your life changes, and as you move down the path of life, when you revisit something, it has a completely different meaning, you know, and it's awesome. I love that you even mentioned that, because most people I talk to, one, a lot of people aren't readers, and then two, most people don't dig deep into the philosophical parts of all this stuff, and it's cool to meet another person who actually has that type of conviction. You know, you don't run into it that often.
And that's one of my strategic advantages as a businessman, especially in IT. A lot of folks in my profession, they communicate better with machines than with people. So, you know, for me to be able to, you know, sit here and have this conversation with you, do a podcast, and be comfortable and just have a real down-to-earth conversation has really been one of the facets of success for me as a business person in IT. Being able to just have a conversation with people, an honest conversation.
Be a human being.
They can understand. Yeah. And, you know, speak geek when appropriate to other geeks, but dude, like, if it's a person that's not like a high-level IT person, like you don't speak to them like that. You don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, well, when one geek walks up to another, the rite of passage to know that you're accepted is they throw out some geek term and then you answer back. Same thing. They're like, oh, you know me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's exactly right.
It's funny, like, I'm one of those people that's just fascinated by all topics, right? I have some filters out. I won't go into some things because I feel like it's not good for me. But for the most part, I'm a very curious person, and I deep dive into all these different things. And my wife's like, "How do you know so much about?" I'm like, "I know surface level about a lot. Deep wise, I know marketing and like I know behavior and people and things like that. But I know a lot, surface level about a lot of things. And what's cool is I'm not saying you can fake your way into, like, but you can find common ground with people just by knowing surface level stuff on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that is, it's a bridge to a connection to actually have a deeper conversation and get to know somebody.
Yeah. And that's why I like being part of all those different networking organizations here, and as I'm able to I'm pretty good with people.
Yeah,
and talking. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're real good with people.
Thanks, man. And just finding out what take it easy, man.
Yeah, man.
Finding out what people's needs are and how I can help them achieve what they need. Because if I'm able to do that, the right person will go and see what they can do to help me get what I need.
Yeah.
And it just always comes around in a circle like that.
Yeah.
And then they end up telling people, oh man, I met Rodney, man. He told me to give him this knowledge, and now I'm making some more money because he gave me this information. Like, oh, okay, well, what can we do for him? So I just like that, and that's how I've been doing it. It's been working.
If you're listening to this podcast, just be curious about everything.
Yeah.
Take an interest in somebody else and what they know that you might not, and don't act like you know everything.
Yeah.
And a wealth of opportunity will come your way.
Yeah, but don't be afraid.
Go ahead.
I said, don't be afraid. Fear is what holds people back, and that's all in your head.
Yep.
Yeah. You get out your own way and go get it. It's out there for you. Yeah.
Best things in life happen outside of that little dot called a comfort zone.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely does.
I know we've been talking about this for a while now, so I don't want to keep you too long because I know you got to head home and do business and visit your wife and all that. So I appreciate you stopping in. But before you go, you got any final thoughts or anything for anybody that's looking to start a business, or maybe they've been in the business for a little bit and things are getting stale? You got any advice, any knowledge or wisdom outside of what we've been talking about you want to impart or maybe reinforce what we talked about?
As far as finding new opportunities for business, it's a lot like dating. It's a lot like dating, man. It's been 13 years since I've been in there, but
okay, you have to explain this.
Yeah, so
all right, go on.
People say they can't meet anybody. Oh, I haven't found anybody. But you're still in the same pool of people, and you haven't gone outside that pool of people to find new people to interact with.
You mean they're not going to come in?
No. No, man. No, they're not gonna. You got to go out. So if you're only part of like one networking organization, try another. Or if you're not doing any networking, go do some. There's a lot of free stuff out there you can take advantage of. The Chamber and EDC, they have these business connects twice a month. Go on their website, look it up, and go check them out. Black Chamber of Commerce has business after hours and these business meetings that are free. Go check them out. They're free now. It may change a little later, but it's,
when you become president.
Yeah, maybe. if the stars align, and that's what the board decides, and then we'll see if what happens. But I hope that's how it goes. But we've don't be afraid. There's a lot of resources out there. I was talking to a guy in my certified ethical hacker class yesterday, and he just wanted basic information on just how to start a business. It's like, dude, where do I go? It's like, man, your EIN don't cost nothing. Go to the Colorado Department of Corporations and register your business, dude. That's about it.
It's like $50.
Yeah, that's about it, man. And after that, just start. We have resources in this community like the Pikes Peak Small Business Development Center.
Yeah,
Hector Marcoulier, girl, you are awesome. SCORE. They've got the Better Business Bureau out there that's teaching things.
There's meetups you can just go to. Right?
Yeah, there's meetups. Yeah, get on Meetup and look at the other things. What was it, 100 million cups?
Yeah.
It's another place to go to find. I mean, there's a lot of this town just flourishes in small business. So, if you're not doing well in your small business, you're not looking hard enough.
Yeah. There's plenty of food for everyone.
And there's plenty of food for everyone. Absolutely.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome. I think that's so funny. Related to dating.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Extend your pool, man. If all you do is go to work and go home, go do something else. And meet some new people. Maybe join a Rotary Club or join some other service organization. Look for Rotary Prime, and meet some new people. And you'll find other single, like-minded folks that are looking for love also. It'll just happen.
Yeah, what I'm hearing, you just gotta get yourself out there. I mean, amazing things happen when you get yourself out there. Start talking.
Oh, man, and the other thing, dude, don't chase the money. Don't chase the money. If you chase the money, you'll always be chasing the money. I think Jay-Z said it best in one of the interviews I saw him in. He was talking about, I just focus on the excellence, and the money comes. The same thing in B&I. I don't chase those stats, those Power of One stats. I just work. I go do my one-to-ones, I do my referrals, and at the end of the month, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm all the way up here. I can't believe I got 100, and Power One is great. The same thing with the love of my life, my wife. Like I was vehemently against marriage when I went into the Air Force. Dude, come on, man. No. I was like, no. And I wasn't looking. And the situation presented itself, and she was there. And it happened. You know, if you want to go biblical on it, man, you know, you read that creation story, was Adam was asleep when Eve showed up. He was asleep. All he did was ask. He asked. He's like, hey, man, look, Lord, everybody else got somebody. Can I get somebody, please? It's a paraphrase.
Yeah.
It's like the new Rodney International version of the Bible. The new Rodney International version. It's like, Lord, can I have somebody, please? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he went to sleep, woke up, one rib missing, but he had his woman there. So he wasn't looking, he just asked. And that's all you have to do, is just ask and just keep focusing on doing what you're doing, and what happens will happen in its own time. Not your time, but a larger entity's time. But yeah,
whatever you happen to believe in. No, that's cool. Awesome. I think that's great.
Yeah,
I think we should end on that. I think that's a great note to end on. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, so if you listen to the whole thing here, we just want to thank you so much for lending us your ear for this. I think we talked for like 45, 50 minutes, something like that. Thanks for lending your ear that long. Hope you guys enjoyed the experience and getting to know Rodney a little bit more. Check out his website. How can people find you?
If you want to find me, it's www.firmaITSS.com. If you're in Key West, the phone number is 305-619-8989. If you're in Colorado Springs, the phone number is 719-319. Wait, I forgot my number.
You know his name?
Yeah. 719-377-6603. That's what it was. 719-377-6603.
I mean, you only been in business 6 years.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Just got out here in August.
All right, so are you on? How can people connect with you on your website?
I'm on Facebook. I have a page for my Key West company. I got a page for my Colorado Springs company. I'm on Twitter at FirmaIT. You can find me on Instagram at ComputerSlow. I'm on Google Plus, and I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me in all those spots. I'm around.
Awesome, man. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
All right, and thanks for listening, guys. We're going to check out. Take care.